The fire and carbon monoxide bundle. So this is a smoke heat detector as well as a carbon monoxide detector. It's two separate devices that we'll place accordingly per plan. But the main advantage is these devices are intended to be monitored by that home security system and really can increase the response times pretty hugely in the event of emergency. And the reason is you do have smoke detectors, NCO detectors, that are required by the building code. The actual electricians install those while the house is being built. I'm sure, as we've all probably heard, when one goes off, they all go off and make quite a bit of noise. But obviously the intent there is they make a bunch of noise to hopefully alert us or wake us up and get us out of the home. But that's kind of where those end. Where the monitored CO and smoke detectors can make such a big difference is in that response time from the fire departments. If we think about it, right, if we're not home and there's a fire, right, we're not going to hear those primary devices making noise. Or if the CO detector is going off, we don't hear those when we're not home. Or worst case scenarios when people aren't waking up to smoke inhalation, right? If they aren't waking up because the carbon monoxide levels are too high. Obviously, we're not hearing those detectors go off in those situations either. So in those particular situations, that's where these devices can make such a huge difference in response times. And if we think about it, right, if we're not home, especially if there's a fire, right, or we're not waking up to that smoke inhalation scenario, people aren't really making the call for us to the fire department until they see smoke or flames coming from the house, right? And unfortunately, if it's a carbon monoxide issue, if people aren't waking up to that phone call might not ever be made, right? So that's where these devices, these life safety devices, can make such a massive difference in the response times. As soon as that smoke heat goes off, as soon as that carbon monoxide detector goes off, they will dispatch that appropriate fire department or authority to the home and hopefully get in before it's become a big issue.